It's no secret, Greater West Bloomfield is a bedroom community that is a vibrant place for our eldest family members to age gracefully and enjoy a very high quality of life in the process. Of course, health and wellness is paramount to maintaining that quality of life, and like everything else, it's all about balance. Karen Faith LLC in West Bloomfield Township will host Dr. Dawn Thomas from Dawn Thomas Physical Therapy on Thursday, March 12th from 3 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. for a workshop known very creatively as Not Falling For It. Dr. Thomas joins me now on the Splash Live for a preview. Dr. Thomas, thanks for coming on the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Happy to have you on to talk about this. Balance is such a key portion of quality of life, especially as individuals in communities like Greater West Bloomfield age, because those falls can have significant damage to your health, to your wellness, and to your quality of life. So as we begin this conversation, just how important is maintaining your physical balance to your long-term health and longevity?
Well, as I have been working as a physical therapist for many, many years, more than 30 years, and I've seen firsthand how devastating falls can be for people. And it was my pleasure to start to try to create educational pieces to share with the community, because I can see how very simple things in education and proactive prevention can help people avoid those catastrophic injuries that are so difficult for people to recover from.
And especially as people age, the recovery time is significantly lower. The ability to recover from even small injuries that may be related to a fall, a bruise on your knee, or you ding your elbow when you fall on the ground and catch your fall. That could have a significant impact. That could be a couple of weeks or a couple of months, as opposed to maybe a few hours or a few days for someone like me in his 30s or somebody younger in their teens or 20s. But when it comes to balance, there's often this misconception that it's all about leg strength or your lower body and your core, but there's so much more that goes into it. Just how much of a whole body effort is maintaining and improving balance as we age?
Yeah, part of what we talk to people about is how all of our systems contribute to our ability to move through space and to control our bodies, our proprioceptive system, our vision, our hearing, our vestibular system, our joints and muscles all over our body, not just our legs. All of those things contribute to our ability to hold ourselves against gravity and move from A to B and recover when we stumble. And that's the key, to be able to recover when you do lose your balance. And those recovery techniques are things that you can learn. And so all of those things go into being able to maintain your balance, and not just the muscles in your legs.
And it's interesting, too, because something that you do plan to speak about at this event, at this discussion, is that fear of falling that does have a natural occurrence for people as they age, especially empty nesters, especially those that may not have their significant other with them anymore as they get later on into life. How does the fear of falling factor into some of the common issues we see related to this issue?
Is a very important concept to be aware of and to understand, and it starts when we're much younger than you might think, because when we're young, we think of elderly people having trouble with falls, but we start to sort of constrict our movement a little bit when we're much younger than you would think, when we have little injuries or we develop arthritis issues in our feet or our knees or our hips or something, and our movements start to get a little bit smaller. And then a minor thing might happen where you stumble and you have a minor fall that doesn't create a big problem, but it still sends messages to your brain that you need to protect yourself. And so then you make your movements smaller and you're more cautious, and you avoid maybe doing things that you used to enjoy, and your movement palette becomes smaller, and then it sort of snowballs from there. So it's very important to be aware of how your perception of fear of falling can affect this downward trend. And there's ways that you can address that and be proactive in combating that, for sure.
Not Falling Forward is going to happen Thursday, March 12th. The discussion 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Karen Faith LLC on Middle Belt Road in West Bloomfield Township. It is free to attend, but you do have to register in order to attend this discussion. You can register by calling 248-464-5011. Again, that phone number 248-464-5011, or visit Dr. Thomas's Facebook page at Dawn Thomas PT for more information on this and other discussions. Dr. Thomas, as you have these discussions in our community and in other areas on this and other topics, how do you find that these seminars, these open discussions, help individuals take action and ultimately protect themselves from some of the risk factors associated with something like balance as they get later in life?
I feel strongly that it helps people empower themselves into kind of being more proactive in their health and understanding that they have the power to make some changes without kind of waiting for the disaster to happen, waiting for the doctor's appointment, waiting for the therapy appointment, waiting for something to happen to trigger it. So by educating, it's empowering for people to understand the things that they can do today, right now, regularly, and make a big impact in their future.
And look, it's no secret. We live in a results-oriented world, especially in 2026. People don't necessarily care so much about the details that get you there. They care about what happens on the other side of this. I take this action now. How's it going to help me later on? That proactive approach to somebody's health care from your side of things, someone that treats patients that are related to these issues and helps people try to recover as best as they can at certain stages of life. How does that proactivity, getting this information, learning some of these strategies, finding those resources, end up resulting in a better quality of life as people age, or if they do end up in a situation where they unfortunately take a tumble?
Well, I think the biggest thing you said it was just keeping your world bigger, being able to enjoy the things that you enjoy. When disasters happen and injuries happen and people can't recover, your world shrinks very quickly. And it's very difficult to sort of keep the joyful meaning in your life and the joyful connections in your life and the activities that you love to do. And we work with people all the time. And that's really, in the end, that's what it means. It means being able to actively participate in the things that mean something to you. And it's different for every person. And so just keeping your world as big as you can keep it.
Now, we hope people will attend this on Thursday, March 12th. It's a free event. You can attend as long as you register. You can find more information on Dr. Thomas's Facebook page at Dawn Thomas PT, or we'll put throughout the rest of this conversation on the screen the flyer that has a phone number, 248-464-5011, to call and register. But if people can't attend, we want to give them a little bit of nugget of information, something to hook them in, Dr. Thomas. So what are some steps that people can take right now to help them address the potential for falling, or better yet, prevent falling as an issue, especially as they get later into their life?
Yeah, there's tons of things that people can do that are not too complicated. Things like taking inventory of yourself and being more aware of maybe you do have a balance issue, and being aware of, do I grab for furniture? Do I hold people's arms? Do I move slower? Action steps you could take, things like removing tripping hazards in your home, getting your eyeglasses checked to make sure that your vision isn't an issue when you're looking down where your foot placement is. That's a huge one. And getting up and moving every hour, making sure that movement is a part of your normal habits throughout the day. Those are some simple things that you can do to reduce your fall risk today.
And all those steps, they do have results that can pay dividends later on in life, especially the greater your strength is now, the greater it can be later on. You build those good habits, they do last a lifetime and have a life-changing impact. Dr. Thomas, thank you as always for providing this information to the community and, of course, for joining us today.
Thank you so much.